What is happening, guys? I'm Dan. Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm diving into a really special beer coming from Founders Brewing Company from the source. I would not be able to get this beer without Terry, so shout out to Terry / Terrence. I don't know which one you go by, Terry, but thank you so much. He's one of the followers I have on Instagram. He lives pretty close to me actually, but I have not met him in person. He dropped this off to the store, gave it to my wife and said, here, give this to Dan. So really appreciate you, Terry. You are the man, because I could not get this beer if you had not gone to the tap room and thought of me. And here I am today reviewing this for you because it's been a minute. I don't even know if I've had this beer, guys. It is the Harvest Ale from Founders. Now it's a part of the Mothership series, and on the back we have, you are holding in your hand an ultra limited brew team favorite beer only found at our taproom locations, where as an old standby we brought out of retirement or an experimental new style. It's sure to go quickly, brewed for a chosen few, and you're lucky enough to be one of them. So this used to be distributed, if I'm not mistaken. I feel like I saw this, the last decade. I haven't seen it in many years. I don't know if it's been 2, 3, 4, 5 years. I have not seen it in distribution. There was a time it once was, but it's been a very long time since they've been fully bought out, really. The company has changed over the years. I'm not saying the beer's still not good, but Founders has had its ups and downs over the years, especially with some different types of beer that they may or may not do anymore or distribute. So today, I'm going to give a go at this one. Again, I may have had it 7, 8, 9, 10 years ago. I really don't remember, but is this the same beer that once was? I don't know. They kind of leave you hanging on the back. So it came out of retirement, or it's an experimental new style. So which one is it? Is it the original recipe? We don't know. So it's going to be broken down today, and we'll figure this out together, guys. Don't know. I won't remember either way. But it is the Harvest Ale. It was bottled on 9/25. Super ultra fresh. I've had it for a couple days. I just now had time to review it. Again, shout out to Terry. You are the man. It's October 5th. So super duper fresh, and it's supposed to be, because they get these hops straight from the source and they get it into the tap room under 24 hours. So this stuff's awesome. It kind of reminds me of the story behind Born Yesterday at Lagunitas. I really love that beer. One of my favorite beers of all time was Born Yesterday at Lagunitas. So is this a similar story? Let's investigate, because I'm pretty certain it is, guys. So really super fresh. I love beers like this. 7.6% ABV. I'm hoping this is a tasty treat today. So let's get into this one and let's break it down, guys. So happy you're here to watch this review. So again, I can't say it enough. Terry, you are the man. Thank you for thinking of me. So as I pour this, kind of a golden straw yellow. Actually more golden than I would have imagined. It looks a little bit darker, almost like a hue of caramel. A little bit darker on camera, but I'm in the shadows. I'm not in the sunlight. Might be a little bit lighter in the sunlight. A little bit misleading potentially, but there's an orangey copper in that yellow as well. And there's a nice touch of a head on the top of this golden beauty. It's hanging around pretty well. It's a little bit sudsy. A little bit down soapy, sliding around, looks pretty good. I like the clarity on this beer. It looks very nice. It is pretty cold. I want it that way. It is the real deal Mothership series. I'm honored to be drinking this one, guys. Let's get an aroma. Sweet honey malts. It smells sweet. It smells malty, biscuity malt with a little bit of caramelized jelly. That's seriously what it smells like. Or even I always do this a lot, mandarin oranges and some sort of jam and jelly leading into the maltiness. But it's a sweet, maybe even a little bit of floral. There's a little bit of citrus, a little bit of pine resin, but it doesn't smell like super hoppy. It's a floral sweet aroma, not like to the perfumey level, but it's up there. It smells sweet. It smells slightly hoppy. It smells a little bit old school, but it does smell bright and aromatic at the same time, so almost some sort of hybrid. It smells very nice. Clean yet sweet. And it's real muddled. I we talk about like New England styles and things like mango, pineapple, like it doesn't really have that. Like maybe you could lean towards tropical and melon, stone fruit, but it's really even kilter right now. The sweet malty level's really high. There's a nice floral abundance. It smells good, guys. I don't think it's like meant to be like overstated, you know, what qualities this brings to the table. I think it's gonna be even kilter. We'll dive in. We'll dive in, guys. Harvest Ale. Thank you, Terry. Cheers. Follow suit. It's old school, man. It feels it's hoppy. It's got nice bitterness on the back end. It's got a sweet malty concept to this beer. It really hangs on through the middle. It does dry out a little bit on the back end, but this is certainly a sweeter beer. A little bit of pine, grass clippings on the back end. It's tasty. I mean, it feels old school to me. It doesn't feel like a new experimental, in my opinion. It feels old, mid-American. I believe these hops are Michigan. If it's still the same recipe, I don't know. They used to make it from Michigan hops, and it very much feels that way. There's a little bit of melon. There's a little bit of citrus, as in orange. I don't think I'd go all the way to grapefruit, but it could be a touch of that as well. Sweet cantaloupe, and there's a touch of alcohol on the back end. I wouldn't say it's like overwhelming, but it is showing itself a little bit, and there is a nice bittering. So again, floral, grass clippings, a little bit of like earthy hop. It feels woodsy. It feels soily. It feels grassy. And really, again, the pine and pine resin, it's there, and it is actually quite bitter. But again, the sweetness from the malt bill is very high, and it feels, again, very mid-American, very Michigan feel to it. Don't know, again, if it's the same recipe. I really don't know. But this is a nice, even kilter, malty, mid-American IPA. It's very tasty. And you get a nice, crisp, floral push on this, too. So again, floral is very high. Malt level is sweet and high, and again, the nice bitterness on the back end to kind of round out the sweetness, round out the malt bill. Very good beer. I wouldn't say it's like mind-blowingly tasty. If I remember correctly, I do think I enjoy the Born Yesterday a little bit more, or quite a bit more, from Lagunitas. But if you're talking about old school beer with fresh hops, like this is very tasty. It's, again, a maltier IPA that reminds me of a mid-American Michigan beer. It's got a little bit of Two Hearted. It's got a little bit of Born Yesterday, almost like psychedelic cat grass from Shorts, all put into one, maybe a little bit sweeter at times than I'm used to from those other offerings. I will stick with the orange marmalade, floral sweetness, and then again, I think you're getting a little bit of melon, maybe some cantaloupe. Slight honeydew blending into like some pine resin. Tasty beer, honey malty middle, sweet, floral, bitter on the back end. It's good. It's a good beer. It tastes fresh. It doesn't feel degraded. Doesn't feel oxidized. It feels old school with a touch of new school. So, you know, is it the same recipe? I want to say it's pretty darn close, but it's been a very long time. I really don't remember having it, so maybe I'm just talking out of my behind. But this is a great beer, and I'm honored to have this. So shout out to Terry. Thank you so much, sir. I'm thrilled that you gave me one of these, and thank you for thinking of me. As for rating, almost a little bit chewy, like a little bit of pine cone in there. A little bit of perfume. Almost tastes like it's got some sort of Centennial. Don't know. It might. I feel like Founders love Centennial hops, but again, could just be Michigan and hops and straight up. So as for rating, I'm not like blown away by this. It's very good. I like the malty level this has. Again, old school feel, a little bit of new school touch. Very well just could be an old school recipe. It's clean, it's tasty, it's a little bit sweet for my liking, but I do like the bitterness on the back end. I'm gonna go right under 4. Like, I feel like it's right about a 4, but I'm gonna go 3.98 out of 5. It's a tasty beer, and I would gladly drink 2 of them and not complain about it. It'd get you going at 7.6, good drinkability. Again, a bit sweet, a little bit of sweet floral as well. Nice, well-rounded beer on the back end. Guys, it's the Mothership Series. It was the Harvest Ale from Founders Brewing Company. Thank you so much for being here. If you're gonna pour a beer, guys, pour Michigan beer.